So today I'm going to be making some soy-free chicken nuggets, and I won't be using tofu. I'll be using another really interesting ingredient. So if you want to find out more, stick around. Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chew on Vegan. Welcome back to another video. I am a plant-based RN and I follow a whole food plant-based way of eating with a focus on protein. So these chicken nuggets I'll be making will not be made with tofu. I've made these kind of nuggets in the past using tofu, but today I'm going to be using a really interesting ingredient. But before I do that, I'm going to do a little bit of food prep. I want to get a few days under my belt, so I'm going to just take you along with me and show you the few things that you can do just to have some things in the fridge so you're ready to go and can make some healthy choices. I'm going to prep my tofu, I'm going to do some veggies, I'm going to do some rice, and I'm going to do some sweet potatoes. So I'm going to get those going first, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to make these nuggets and the secret ingredient I'm going to be using today. As always, the full recipe will be in the description box with all the other resources that I offer. So let's get started. The first thing I want to get started is my rice. And I have a really old rice cooker. I've probably had it for 35 years. Seriously, it's that old and it still works just fine. So I keep using it. So I have 1 cup of jasmine rice and I'm going to add 2 cups of water. And then I'm going to flavor it up a little bit. And I'm going to be using this yellow curry bouillon cube. You could use they have a not chicken bouillon cube, they have a not beef bouillon cube, they have a vegetable one, and sometimes it's fun just to throw one of these cubes in to flavor it up a bit. I like this particular one because it gives this beautiful yellow color, so I'm just going to throw one of the cubes in there and then get it started. And I always have rice in my fridge, so I'm just going to break it up a little bit. I'm just going to put the lid on and get it on my rice cooker and get it going. Next up, I'm going to do my Japanese sweet potatoes. These are my favorite kind of sweet potatoes. I'm just going to air fry them and I'll show you how I cut them up. You can use whatever kind of sweet potatoes you would like. Just these are my favorite ones. So I'm just going to cut them in chunks here. And they cook up pretty quickly. I leave the peel on. And then I have these ready to go in the fridge. Just add them to my dinner or whatever I'm making. Super easy, just reheat them real quick. So I'll just throw them on a lined baking sheet, face down like this, and I just cook them until they're tender. Real simple. Okay, these are going to go in the oven. Now I'm going to prep my tofu. I always use high protein super firm, more protein per serving, and you don't have to press it. It just makes life way easier. I usually go to Trader Joe's and get theirs, but my Trader Joe's was out, so I had to go to another market and I got this brand, which I've tried before and it's great. So this has 14 grams of protein per serving, where other tofus may have 9 or 10. So I like to get as much protein as I can per meal, and I like to get a bigger bang for my buck, so that's why I like to use this. So I'm just going to get these open, and then I'll show you how I season them up, and then I'm just going to throw them in with the sweet potatoes. And it's just really important that you do some kind of food prep so you're not left to your own devices and go for something unhealthy, maybe fast food. So if you can just do this, it really doesn't take that long at all. I mean, you're just basically chopping a few things up, getting them in the oven or the microwave. Under an hour, you've got stuff done. You can do this while you're doing laundry, whatever. You can just kind of combine it in your day. And that's what I do, and it's just real simple. All right, so I've got my 2 blocks here, and then I'm just going to cube these up. I just cut them in half. And this does not have to be perfect. Then they just go in a bowl here. And you can make these cubes whatever size you want. Want to make them bigger, smaller, it's up to you. And I like to do 2 blocks at a time. That way I don't have to worry about my protein at a meal. Just have to, you know, heat it up. And you can heat it up in the microwave, or you could just put it back in the air fryer for a few minutes. Either way is fine if you don't like microwaves. And then I just measure out how much I need at whatever meal I'm using these in. Very easy. All right, and then I just season it up with the same thing every week. Garlic salt. If you're salt-free, just use garlic powder. I've got onion powder. A little smoked paprika. And then some nutritional yeast. And then I'm just going to toss this, and then I'll season it again, because I want to make sure that everybody gets some spices on here. So we'll hit it with a little bit more garlic salt, onion powder, smoked paprika, and you know, just measure with your heart. You don't need exact measurements on this. Absolutely not. Be creative, have fun, play with it, make it your own. If you want to do cumin, you want to make it spicy, cayenne. Then we have a lined baking sheet here, and then you just want to place them in a nice neat little row here so they're not touching. That way they get crisp all around. And then this will go in with my sweet potatoes. So you're doing 2 things at once. I've got my rice going, I've got tofu and sweet potato going. So it's great. Next we're going to do our veggies. Alright, I'm just going to continue getting these on the baking sheet, and then I will put them in the oven with my sweet potatoes. So I've got some beautiful broccolini. If you have not had broccolini, I got this at Farmer's Market. It's so good. Then I've just got my standard broccoli, and then I've got a carrot here. And I'm going to put it in my microwave steamer. If you prefer to steam it on the stove, great. Either way you want to do it, I have no problem with the microwave, but I know some people do. So you could do it steam it on the stove or in a container like this. So we're just going to chop these up a little bit, and we'll get as much in here as we can. Broccoli is my all-time favorite. I love it. I eat it probably every day. Fresh, frozen, I don't care. But it is very good for you. It has cancer-fighting properties and great fiber. I mean, vitamins, the whole bit. And I don't throw this away. I'll save it, use it in soup or something. Then I've got my broccolini. Just get some of that in there. And I'll put some of the stems in there, but also save some for soup or whatever. This stuff, so good. And I'm just gonna, we're gonna stuff this thing for sure. And then I want to get some of my carrot in there as well. Love my carrots. The vitamin A for your eyes. And then I'll just put this few minutes in the microwave. I don't want them totally mush because I will be reheating as, you know, the days go on, so we won't do that. All right, I'm going to get these in the microwave, and then I think we are ready to actually get those chicken nuggets I like to say. Okay, sweet potatoes are done, and you can see they're super squishy, and I like it when I start seeing a little ooziness coming out. They're going to be so delicious. So we're going to put these aside, let them cool, and then I'll put them in a container, stick them in the fridge, and I'm ready to eat those over the next few days. All right, veggies are done. I'll let these cool, then those will go in a container and be in my fridge, ready to go. Look at this rice. Look at the color. And it just came out perfect. Seasons it just perfectly. Delicious. And here is the beautiful tofu. Look at that. Just super golden brown, perfect. All right, again, we're gonna let this cool, put it in a container, and it's ready for me when I'm ready for it. All right, I think everything has come out. So, all right, now I'm gonna show you how to make these soy-free chicken nuggets. So the moment you've been waiting for, the secret ingredient, lion's mane mushroom. Now I got this at my local farmer market. Sometimes you see it in the grocery stores, but usually at farmers markets they will have it. And look at this beautiful, so beautiful. Now, a few facts about lion's mane. So there have been some studies that have indicated that lion's mane is helpful with memory, focus, immunity, energy, gut health. It's neuroprotective, which means it may help fight against or reduce the symptoms of Alzheimer's. And it does have the ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. So it's got a lot of medicinal uses, and it's also super delicious. So this is what we're gonna make our soy-free little chicken nuggets out of. The first thing I wanna do is show you how I make the coating, which is what I'm gonna dip the little pieces in. And so let's get that started. One thing I do wanna mention, lion's mane, along with other mushrooms, you don't want to run them under water to clean them. You just want to get a damp paper towel and wipe them down. If you put them under water, it can make them rubbery or slimy, and that's something you do not want. So these were just, I just used a wet paper towel and just kind of wiped them off, a damp paper towel. All right, now I'm going to show you how to make a really easy sauce that we're going to dip these in, and then we're just going to air fry them. All right, so for this quick little sauce or coating, it's just 5 ingredients. So we've got some coconut aminos, we've got some maple syrup, and I'll put all the measurements down below, and we've got some pickle juice. This is bread and butter, but you could use dill. I usually use dill, but didn't have any. Then for spices, I have onion powder, garlic, salt. If you're salt-free, just use garlic powder, smoked paprika, and some poultry seasoning. Get all those in there. And then I have some nutritional yeast. So let's mix this all together. If it's too thick, And you can just add a little bit more water. But I think this is good because you want it to stick to the little mushrooms. Let's get it all in there, baby. Now we're just going to kind of tear these into, you know, about this size. And this is a half a pound of these mushrooms. I think it's just such a cool shape. I don't know, I just love the way it looks. Okay, let's stir these in, kind of get them coated. Then I'm just going to put this on the line baking sheet, and then I'm going to do the rest. Okay, here's the line baking sheet, so I'm just going to get these on here. All right, we'll just move on and do the rest. All right, here we go. I'm going to put these in the air fryer, which is in my oven. If you don't have an air fryer, you can just use your regular oven. So we're going to let these go for about 15 minutes, and we'll check them after 15. Now I'm going to make a sweet honey sauce to dip our nuggets in. I've got some soaked cashews, maple syrup, lemon juice, and then I've got some yellow mustard, and I've got some whole grain Dijon. You can use just regular Dijon or just all yellow if you want. And then some barbecue sauce. This is just jarred barbecue sauce. And then a little bit of water. And then I'm just going to blend this up. And then when those nuggets are done, we've got a yummy little sauce. All right, here is our final product. And we'll give one of these little babies a taste, dip it in this sauce. Really is tasty. Of course, paired it with some veggies, perfect. So to recap, we made some curry rice, super easy. We made our Japanese sweet potatoes, again, super easy. Crispy tofu, couldn't be easier. And our steamed veggies, broccolini, broccoli, and carrots. Plus, I shared with you a brand new recipe using a brand new ingredient. And I know it's a little exotic and not everyone has access to that, but you could definitely do the same little coating on tofu or tempeh. That would work totally fine, and air fry it, same thing. You'll get the same kind of a feel. I just wanted to come up with something that didn't involve soy because some people are sensitive to it. So this is an option for them, but it's also an option for everyone because it's really delicious and there's so many health benefits from the lion's mane mushrooms. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, please give it a like and share it with your friends. If you've made it this far in the video, please comment below with lion's mane, and that way I know you made it to the end with me, and I really appreciate it. Remember, all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet, and what you put on your plate determines your fate. Remember that food prep is really key for any kind of weight loss or health journey. It just keeps you on track, makes your life easier, even though it may take you a little bit of time to get all that done, but it is so worth it. And on this health journey, it is really about doing the same things day after day. It's not exciting, it could be boring, but that's what's going to give you the results that you want. When you are committed to eating healthy every day and exercising every day, doing some kind of movement, you know, nothing's going to change until something changes. So it's an old saying, but it's very true. So if you have not been getting results, try some food prep. Try eating very simply, basic foods. Don't get fancy, don't get overwhelmed, and you will definitely see some results. So I appreciate you joining me today, and until next time, thank you.